What is going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. Now, I wish I was bringing you guys Loki Bust review today. Unfortunately, FedEx decided to be lazy and not deliver it and claim they tried to deliver it. I'm home, I have Ring, zero notifications. They just updated tracking to attempted delivery. Please. That really pisses me off. So now I have to wait till Monday to get Loki. Which got me thinking on some ideas that I think could improve this room substantially. It is requiring quite a big change, but I do think it would be worth it, especially if I'm going to get the new Thanos bust, you know. So I did want to show you what this Thanos bust looks like down low. It's not horrible, but it's not great. I still would prefer to sell it if I'm getting the new Thanos bust. Now, I haven't paid for the new Thanos, you know. The seller that supposedly is selling it to me has kind of been quiet, so I'm kind of thinking that one's not going to fall through, but I do have a backup plan as well. So I do want to get Thanos, though. And I have an idea, and I have some Photoshops I'll show you guys, but I want to talk through it first in the room to do it. So if you all remember, I've had the idea of doing a giant Marvel bust wall right here instead of over here. At the end of the day, I do prefer Marvel over DC. I think the Marvel Infinity Saga is the greatest series of movies ever created, and I don't think it'll ever be topped. From Iron Man to Endgame, the best movies ever made. Easily better than all of DC, in my opinion. However, DC's just been coming out with all these killer pieces, and I love these characters so much. But if we get Thanos bust, he does fit here. However, his head is literally going to be like right beneath this, which does bug me. In addition, I won't be able to fit Captain Bust in this display, and I definitely want that Captain Bust. And it just got me thinking, if I'm getting Thanos and I'm making that big of an investment, you know, $8,000 plus, I need to put it in a much better spot. It needs to go right here. A central area, a centerpiece to this room and this wall, so he can fit right here. He takes up nearly an entire garage shelf, you know, like I could put like a prop next to him. I'd probably have him more angled like to the left side of this. That way when I put the two busts here, he's not going to be blocking them. But the whole idea would be Loki bust in the corner with all his props and everything behind him. Thor bust with Stormhammer behind him. Stormbreaker. Then Thanos, and then Captain America bust. So Thanos would be surrounded by two of the Trinities, and then Doctor Strange, and then Hulk. You know, because I prefer Hulk bust up high. Then beneath, we would keep the Infinity Gauntlet there, but then do Black Panther and Vision bust, Iron Man and Pepper Potts. So in essence, Thanos bust will be surrounded by the Trinity. Just Iron Man being, you know, beneath him with his companion piece. And then right next to Iron Man and Pepper Potts, now I'd probably do Pepper Potts right there, Iron Man there, Spider-Man. Right next to Iron Man, because I think they pair good. Next to Spider-Man, we'd do Venom, and then Captain Marvel. In the one, because she's, you know, not a true companion piece. I think this is a solid idea. I'll show you a Photoshop, but it looks absolute killer in my opinion. And I really, really like it. I like it more than this wall, the one I'm building right now. I definitely like it more. Now, obviously, that means we're going to have to change a lot of things. Everything beneath and everything above. All of this. And so I have two ways I can go about this. I can simply switch these displays, you know, and technically do like Aquaman bust, Aquaman, Mera bust, Mera 1/3, and the remaining 1/3. I wouldn't be able to fit all the 1/3, but, and try to fit everything down low. However, what I think is the best idea is separating the DC universe, the Snyderverse, and Dark Knight Rises universe, because they are two separate universes. Even though I think the transition is really smooth, I think the better idea is where we have Catwoman bust in J&D, we change that to Mera J&D and Mera bust. Then Aquaman bust in the corner, then Aquaman, then, you know, Darkseid, Steppenwolf, and if I can fit Cyborg and Shazam, or Cyborg and Flash. I think I might have to make this a 60-inch shelf to make that work. But if I do up and down, I could definitely make that work. I know for a fact I could fit, you know, Steppenwolf, Darkseid, Aquaman Bust. But I still do want to keep Cyborg and Flash if I can. And I think doing an extra 12 inches and then angling everything, I could make it work. Maybe. Just maybe. What I think I may have to do that actually could work better. Scoot this a little to the left because there's, you know, a lot of space right here actually. And when you do J&D Mera and Mera Bust is not as wide as that. Then you do Aquaman 1/3, Aquaman Bust, and then, you know, Darkseid, Cyborg, Flash, Steppenwolf. Or, you know, Darkseid here, Steppenwolf there. That would work because, you know, she's much wider than Mera. Mera is, you know, 10 inches less width. And I got about 5 inches right there. So I just scoot Harley over, scoot Mera Display over, and do Aquaman 1/3, then Aquaman Bust, and then the remaining League members. That would work good, actually. I just barely thought of that. My Photoshop doesn't show that, and you'll see how tight it is, but doing that would work better. Now, underneath, the way to do this is, especially if we do the 60-inch shelf, it would be Mark 7 1/4, Mark 7 Bust, Loki 1/4, which I think would be perfect for like a little Avengers 1 display. Then Avengers 2, we'd do Ultron, Black Widow, and wait, who was the other one I was thinking of? Thor. Thor being next to Loki, then Ultron, then Black Widow. Then you go into Infinity War and Endgame being really Iron Spidey, Thanos, Trinity, and Thanos. You know, all those. Boom and boom. Do that. And then over in this display where you have those busts, we do a little Deadpool 3 display, Spider-Man and Venom. And underneath here, I could technically do my Suicide Squad line if I can ever sell it. Or if I boosted the shelf up higher, which I don't really want to do, but if I did, I could fit Shazam and Black Adam. Which those two are still just like extremely difficult because of how hard Black Adam will be to display. So I'm kind of leaning of just canceling that, selling Shazam. And if I sold Suicide Squad, then I could technically return my Avengers 1 display down there. So I don't have statues on the way to my bathroom. Or we could do Suicide Squad and Shazam, or, you know, there's definitely room there to decide what I want to do. But I'm just thinking, you know, like this wall's good, but that Marvel wall is better. Definitely allowing Thanos to breathe much better and have space for Captain Bust comfortably. You know, and Loki and Thor will definitely fit on one shelf together. Hulk easily fits on that shelf. Thanos takes up one shelf. Doctor Strange is a thinner bust, and so he'll fit next to Cap on a big shelf. Let me show you some Photoshops, but I am really digging this idea, and I think this is the route. As soon as I actually purchase Thanos bust, because he's not bought. Once he's bought and shipped, I'm going to do all the rearranging immediately. So I want to show you guys the Photoshop, just watching some Family Guy. It's so frustrating not getting Loki, I gotta tell you. All right, so here is this display. So yeah, you scoot this over and just do him on that side. I think it would fit, especially if I do the 60-inch shelf. I think even without the 60-inch, I could make it work. Yeah, I could make that work. You know, underneath, like I said, sort of like that. Boom, boom, and boom. So that is that plan, which I think looks good, and it's all Snyderverse in this area of DC. And this is kind of what I was thinking for, you know, the Dark Knight Rises setup. You know, having busts and then 1/3 in between, and I'd be able to keep Bane up top because there's more space here. So, you know, Joker bust in 1/3, Batman where we have Hulk buster, then Batman, Bane, Catwoman, J&D Catwoman. And then underneath as so. You know, and if I did Suicide Squad, I could do Avengers 1/16. Probably just keep it Suicide Squad, just because I don't think I'll actually ever sell those. No one ever wants to buy them. You know, if anything, I just sell Shazam, which I think will be easier, and then cancel Black Adam once the shipping costs increase and I get my deposit back. You know. But then the main reason for this is that. Boom. check that out. That is incredibly sick. Like I said, the only thing I'd do is I'd switch these two, although that's not bad as well. But, you know, in essence, the Trinity surrounding Thanos, you know, Doctor Strange next to Cap and, you know, Hulk, which is the smallest one. So it's like going from high to lower and lower. And then right here, Thor next to Loki. Those two, but I didn't, you know, have the Infinity Gauntlet photoshopped in. But we do the Infinity Gauntlet just because we're low on space in the other area. So, I mean, technically, I have fit before those two and Captain Marvel in one shelf. So I technically could fit all three and free that up for an additional bust in the future if I needed to. Now, it was a little tight. I won't deny that. I think with Infinity Gauntlet, it'll be a little tight, but it should work. So I do think the Infinity Gauntlet can work. I would have to try it, honestly. But this is definitely by far better than the other plan, you know, where I won't have proper space for Cap. The other plan did work good in general, but I really want good breathing space for that Thanos bust, and I don't want a ceiling super close to him. Of course, behind all this, I would do probably just props. I would probably not even, maybe do one poster. Maybe a poster, that Infinity War poster behind Hulk, but then above everyone else, you know, do Cap shield, maybe just his Eye of Agamotto, Stormbreaker, and Loki's scepter, you know, and some props pretty much all throughout the whole display. But that would be the idea, is mostly just props. I would not want to do tons of posters on this wall, just props, busts, life size. I think this is super solid. I think it would be incredibly impressive. And then honestly, this kind of makes me just want to do a DC bust wall too if I decided to do this. I'm like, man, so I got this. Imagine if to the right of it we did, you know, my 5 DC busts in a row. You know, like the Trinity with Mera and Aquaman, in essence. Like, God, that would be sick too. That would mean I'd have to do all the 1/3s together in that setup. But I don't know if I could even fit them all. So it's probably not the best idea. Besides, I really like my Trinity wall. Anyways, folks, I think this is the way. In the words of the, you know, Mandalorian, this is the way. So as soon as Thanos bust is purchased, this is what's going to happen. You know, so we'll get Loki. We'll get Doctor Strange. We already own everything underneath. The only things we'd be missing is Thor and Cap, and Doctor Strange should arrive in the next few weeks. So really just 2 busts is all we'd be missing before this display is complete. Both of those are probably going to be shipping end of year, Q1 of next year. So I'm really digging this, though. I think it looks effing amazing. You know, and Marvel being my favorite of all, I think this is well-deserved. Anyways, folks, that is it for today's video. Sorry I couldn't bring you Loki, but we'll do Monday. I'll probably just post the video that day once I get it. As long as I'm able to unbox it early enough. If it's past 1 p.m. or 2 p.m., I'll post it next day just because views will be down. I'll see you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.